Hey there guys, that's Specky Guy here with my third vlog. Had a bit of a think about this one, and I've decided to talk about Resident Evil. Now, I think everyone out there in YouTube and video game land have played Resident Evil. Absolute classic. If you haven't played it, go buy it on the GameCube. I don't suggest buying it on the original PlayStation. Go play it on the GameCube. It's amazing. Resident Evil was one of the first popular survival horror games. Now, don't say first survival horror games because there's many more before it. Like Sweet Home, Monster Maze, a few Super Nintendo and Nintendo titles. But Resident Evil was the first popular one. And it was known for its puzzles and in-depth storyline, which is amazing. There were several spin-off games: Resident Evil Survivor, Resident Evil Outbreak. Sorry, I forgot what it was then. And also Dino Crisis, which is spun off from Resident Evil. There's a few if you go through Dino Crisis, there's a few references to Raccoon City. Now, take Resident Evil 4. That's not Resident Evil. Resident Evil 5. That's a first person shooter. Or third person if you prefer as a third person shooter. Resident Evil stopped for me after Code Veronica X on the Dreamcast. Resident Evil is like a lot of other games are turning into a game that it shouldn't be. Resident Evil should be about puzzles, bad dialogue, interesting plot twists, and fighting zombies. Not worrying about the president's daughter or the racial issues that were brought up when Resident Evil 5 came out. It should be going around killing zombies in Raccoon City or another city where a virus is broken out. Now, Resident Evil for me started out when I borrowed it off one of my brother's friends. And I got so stuck, it was unreal. The first time I played Resident Evil 5, I completed it. I don't mean to boast about that because a lot of people did get stuck on it, but for me I found it way too easy compared to what I was expecting from Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 3 Nemesis, Resident Evil Outbreak, Resident Evil Survivor, Resident Evil Code Veronica X. I think Resident Evil should go back to its roots. I've just watched a trailer for Resident Evil 6. And it looks to me it's sort of going back to the roots with a biological outbreak in America. But it's not going to be puzzle driven anymore. It looks more action game. And Resident Evil shouldn't be an action game. It should be a game where you have to work your way through solving puzzles, saving ammunition. Especially in Resident Evil 3 on hard mode. If you watch a guy called Necroscope, I will put a link in the description below, so click on that. He does a walkthrough of Resident Evil 1, 2 and 3, and also Code Veronica X. Watch that. That is what a Resident Evil game should be. Conserving ammunition, wondering what's around the next corner, being on caution and having to fight Nemesis and then having to either run away or work away or getting around it, finding mysterious weapons, reading documents. That's what Resident Evil's about, not this in Resident Evil 5 going around basically going, I've got a gun so I can complete the game. Also, 2-player co-op was done very badly in Resident Evil 5. 2-player co-op was done absolutely awfully. If you want to do 2-player co-op in a Resident Evil game, do it like both of you having to go around and do puzzles and meeting halfway, or having to share resources, a bit like Resident Evil Outbreak. That was a good sort of situation where 2-player could have been used. For me, if they wanted to do a good 2-player Resident Evil experience, do Resident Evil 2. One of you being Claire and one of you being Leon, getting separated from the start, having to work your way round, Claire going through the front entrance, and Leon going up through the back and down through over the helipad, and then me having to meet in the middle and work out where to go next. That would be an amazing cooperative Resident Evil experience, but they won't do it. They won't do it. It's a shame because the main franchises these days are getting let down by the later releases. Look at Fable. Fable 3 is crap, but that's another video. Anyway guys, I've been that Specky Guy, and let me know if you're looking forward to Resident Evil in the comments below, or leave a video response. See you again soon.